Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Travel Talk by Trip 101. So, in this series, we talk to different area experts and experienced travelers from all across the world about their trips. And with this series, we hope to help travelers plan their trip to their dream city even more efficiently. My name is Nirja, and I love to travel and learn about different places and cultures and connect and interact with different people. In today's episode, we will be talking about three beautiful cities: Osaka, Nara, and Kyoto. And all these cities are located in Japan's Honshu Island. Joining with us today is also a very special guest who will take us through her travels to this beautiful city. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Genalda. I'm a travel lover. I'm based in London currently. And yeah, like I work as a UX designer on my 9 to 5. So designing websites and apps for various companies and the
Nice.
digital products. But my passion is also to travel. So every time I have annual leave or on weekends, I plan some trips to really explore the world and just, yeah, get immersed in new cultures, learn new things and just meet new people around the world.
Nice. That sounds exciting. So, how many places have you been to? How many countries right now?
I think there's also, yeah, some that I lived. So I lived in Czechia, in Portugal, and now in the UK. But yeah, and I also have some family around the world. So my family is also from Angola. So I also go there almost like once a year. But yeah, I've traveled primarily in Europe, just yeah,
Okay.
because of like the proximity. So yeah, but also a bit in Africa, in like
Uh,
Latin America, and then yeah, in Asia, it's still yeah, the continent that I've traveled the least, apart from Oceania. But then yeah, like I'm so excited to tell you about Japan because yeah, it's one of the few countries that I've visited in Asia, and it was so amazing.
40 countries is such an enviable goal. And I can't imagine like how many new things you must have seen and done in these places.
Yeah, like it helps a lot being yeah based in the UK. I'm in London, so it's very well connected in terms of travel. So a lot
Right.
of it as well, like just taking advantage sometimes of like bank holiday weekends. So then I can put like a 3 day trip and just yeah, just go somewhere that is like only 2 hours away, and that just makes it a lot easier to travel.
Can you tell me a bit about what kind of travel are you? I mean, do you plan your trips or are you just spontaneous?
So I'm more the planning type. I like to have a bit of structure. So just I like to do some research ahead. It just gets me excited. I like watching YouTube videos, like reading blogs, and also on Instagram, like just seeing yeah some just getting inspiration for my trip. So I tend to like plan because I also
Okay.
like to yeah visit cultural landmarks. Sometimes do the activities. So it helps planning a bit, but then I also like to leave some room for like spontaneity, just to have some time to really just wander around because sometimes you're in a place and then you're like, there's maybe like a little
Right.
list of things you want to do, but some of the best things are like on the back streets or just yeah, first or sometimes you get a tip from a local and they're like, oh, you should go there or you should try this restaurant. So just also leaving room for yeah to explore. And then in terms budget, I would say like I'm a mid-range traveler. So yeah.
Okay. Do you mainly travel alone or with family, friends?
So lately, yeah, I've traveled more with my boyfriend. We've been together for 3 years. So in these 3 years, we visited a lot of countries together.
Right.
He also shares the same passion for travel. And because we are in long distance, so I'm in London and he's in Barcelona, we
Okay.
also meet in different places. So that's one excuse to keep traveling. And in generally, I prefer traveling with other people. Like I'll also travel with friends, with family. And personally, I prefer, yeah, to have someone to share the moments.
Uh-huh.
I've done one solo trip, full solo trip before. Like last summer, I went to Mallorca alone for 4 days,
Okay.
and it was really good. Yeah, very relaxing. And I've done like day trips alone, either
Okay.
here in the UK or sometimes when I was like on with a larger group and perhaps we wanted to do like different things. So yeah, I've also done some bits by myself.
Okay. Yeah. So an assortment of both.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Okay. Coming to your trip to Japan, can you tell me why you chose that location and how long were you there for?
The reason I chose Japan is it's been on my bucket list for the longest time. It's It was really one of those countries that it always drawn me. I was always very interested about the culture. And as I've liked to like the food more and more, like I was like, I need to go there and try. But also, yeah, I think lately there's quite a lot of people that I know that have been to Japan
Okay.
recently. So it's just, yeah, hearing from friends. It's quite popular as well as a destination. I think just coming out of the pandemic as well. I think it took some time for travels to go there again. So that really increased like the interest. And yeah, as well, I think financially because we've been aware that, for example, the currency, it's a bit more favorable. It's always been considered like an expensive destination. So lately it's considered a bit more favorable to go, the exchange rates
Okay.
for someone based in the UK to go. So that's also one thing. But primarily just really the interest about the culture, about the food and experiences. And it just seemed so far, so almost not unattainable, but it was just like, am I really gonna do this? Like, why not now? And
Yeah.
yeah, and one thing as well, it was like, I turned 30 in June, and I knew I wanted to do a big trip and go somewhere special. So I think, yeah, Japan could be like this special destination. And I stayed there for 2 weeks.
Oh, nice. 2 weeks.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, can you tell me how did you plan for this trip? Like, what are the steps you took before you went there?
So yeah, definitely doing some research. I was also looking through some itineraries online. So just yeah, just saving a lot of videos that I saw online, reading blogs, and asking for friends. Like one of my closest friends was in Japan in October. So I was like, can you send me your itinerary and help me plan this? And then she already had told me about the trip when she came back, but then we were like, can I have a bit more of some tips as well? And yeah, reaching out to people that I follow social media as well. So that was very helpful. And yeah, I usually don't do trips this long. Like usually I'll go for yeah, a long weekend trip or maybe a week.
Okay.
But 2 weeks, I was at the beginning, it was yeah, a bit overwhelming. But then I was like, I know I want to go to yeah, different cities as well. So just want to have an idea first how much I should spend in
Okay.
each place. And yeah, just like listing out some of the main things to see so that it kind of allowed me. And then I just realized, okay, this is perhaps the place that I want to spend a bit more time. Obviously, I
Okay.
spoke with friends, but people prioritize different things. So I knew I wanted to prioritize more some activities in the city, but then also like seeing more like historical sites, seeing
Okay.
the temples and shrines, and then yeah, definitely leaving some time for some culinary adventures.
Great. That sounds great. So you managed to cover 3 cities there, right?
With Tokyo as well. And then actually, yeah, I was also like in the Kawaguchiko area, so to see Mount Fuji. So I stayed there
Oh,
overnight.
nice.
Yeah, so quite a few places.
Okay, particularly talking about Nara, Kyoto, and Osaka, are they all easy to travel?
Yes, it's so easy. Between these cities, I even took like just a regional train. There wasn't a need to take like the faster bullet train.
Okay.
And it was actually really interesting because thankfully, me and my boyfriend has seen on social media that there's this special train that goes from, I think, between Kyoto and Osaka.
Okay.
And it has this Japanese garden. So each carriage,
Wow.
it's designed in a different way with, yeah, garden elements and then wallpapers. The seating is different. So it was really cool. So we took that train from Osaka to Kyoto. But yeah, all the cities are very well linked by train. It was very easy. And
Mm.
the great thing is that, yeah, you can have your Suica card, which is like a travel card in Japan. And you can
Okay.
just add it to like your Apple Wallet or your Google Wallet. And then you just tap in and you just like
Right.
that way you can access the train, just top up the card as you go. So it's very easy, like
Very
Google
convenient.
Maps, yeah, works fine and everything, yeah, seems very self-explanatory there.
And within these cities, did you travel by bus, car, or you were just walking there?
I think in Osaka, mainly by metro.
Okay.
Yeah, there was many places that were within walking distance because we were just staying near Kurumon Market, so it
Okay.
was quite central. We were in Dotonbori, so it was yeah within 15 minutes walking. And then there was like a few other things that were just a bit outside. It was that, and then in Kyoto, we used the bus a bit as well because yeah, we were staying close to Kyoto Central Station. So sometimes to go to areas
Mm.
like Gion and so on, yeah, we would take the bus instead. But again, we could use the same travel card, so it was very easy. But then there
Okay.
was also other areas within Kyoto that were a bit on the outskirts. So to visit certain temples and shrines, we would take the train as well.
Okay. And same in Nara as well.
Yes, in Nara, yeah, we took the train to get to Nara, but once we were in Nara, it was just like we were just walking.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Coming to your itinerary, can you tell me what were the things that what did you do in all three cities?
Yeah, so we went to Osaka first. We traveled there from Mount Fuji. And yeah, we arrived with the bullet train. So once there, we just needed to take the metro to our accommodation. And as I was mentioning, like our accommodation, at least it was very close to the some of the main attractions.
Okay.
So we were just there, like really. The first day we got in Osaka was just like open exploration. We knew we wanted to go see Dotonbori, so we just made our way walking there. It was like probably if you just like go straight away, it's like maybe it was 20-minute walk. But obviously we
Okay.
were stopping and seeing things. So there was like the Kuruma market on the way, which is more like a fish market. But then there was like another market with a shopping gallery on the way.
Okay.
So there's always like sweet treats and different things you want to try and just picking one thing here, picking one thing there. And then on it's very interesting. I love that on this in the back streets as well. You're walking on the back streets and suddenly you see like a small temple. Like you just see, like for example, we were walking in the streets in Osaka and then we just came across one. It had the incense and then it had some figures as well. So like related to Buddhist religion. And then we just it was very interesting to just stumble across a temple. But then then we made our way to Dotonbori, and it's just very busy, very vibrant. You were just there, like
Sounds
kind of like in that
lovely.
canal area. Yeah. And then there was just the big poster with the Glico Man, the iconic one with the arms up. So we were just there taking some pictures. There was a lot of tourists. Like I think we saw, especially it looked like students as well, groups of students.
Okay.
They were there visiting, I think from the US. But yeah, it was a very busy area. So we were just like walking around, just absorbing it. It's quite, I don't know, like quite exciting there just with the shops, with everything, all the bus. And then I think Osaka for me as well. I was really curious about the foods there, some
Mhm.
of like the local dishes like takoyaki, okonomiyaki.
Oh,
And then like we were just like went to try a few ones. And then besides, that's nice. It's nice the area, Dotonbori. It was also the most amazing sunset there. So
yes.
it was like really incredible just watching it by the bridge. Yeah, then we just went to eat. The following day, I think, we went to Universal Studios.
Oh,
So
wow.
that we were like, just like wanting to try. Japan has, various theme parks, but we said because especially because of the Super Mario World, we were like, let's go to Universal's, try it out. It had been a while since I've been on a theme park, so but it was really exciting. Again, very easy, just booking the tickets online. For the Super Mario World, there was like a booking system that you get a time slot to go there,
Mhm.
and it has like the most incredible day. You're just like
Yeah.
fully immersed in like on the riding, playing the game and everything. But yeah, it's a day that it can be a bit tiring. In the end, you spend a lot of time queuing, but it was really worth it. We tried to get there as early as we could to just, avoid a bit of the queues in the morning, gain some time. But it was fun. We managed to get on all the rides we wanted, and then it just, came very exhausted back to Osaka. Yeah, we took the train. It's very easy. I think we had to do one change, but there's actually a train that is just themed with like the Universal Studios. So
Okay.
yeah, accessing that is also very easy by train. The following day, we went to see Osaka Castle, which was beautiful. Like it's really
Wow.
beautiful. There's some gardens surrounding it. So that was a bit further out from where we were. And it's really amazing. It's like inside, it's been, refurbished. So
Yeah.
there's like a museum. And basically, I think it's like it has 9 floors. In the
Wow.
top floor, it's a panoramic view of the city. So it's really good not just to go there, see the castle, learn about the history, but you also get like a panoramic view of Osaka,
Okay.
which is really great. And then we actually went all the way to the top and then made our way down because it's quite a lot of stairs to go up.
Yeah.
They have a lift, but only reserved for people with that have limited mobility. So you have to take the stairs. So I think starting from the top and then coming down, it's a good idea. But it was very insightful in terms of history as well as explaining about Osaka, about how Japan used to be like, yeah, separated in different area, in different regions. And then there was a figure that united the country and such. So yeah, it was a glimpse on Japanese history. And then there's, yeah, some gardens
Okay.
around, like a little pond where there's a little pond where you can go in and then take the perfect picture with Osaka Castle in the background. So instead of like just staying next to it, you need to go find that little pond
Okay.
and you get the perfect picture.
But
Then
but the
mhm,
instructions and all the guided tours were in Japanese and English as well, or just Japanese?
we didn't do a guided tour, but I believe so, yeah, that there are also tours in
Okay.
English and such. We just went in independently. And yeah, it was quite like there was a
Mm-hmm.
lot of some explanations on the museum, so it helped understanding a bit more the context.
Okay,
But we
great.
didn't join a tour on that instance. And then yeah, then we also went to try the onsen, so like the public
Oh,
baths.
okay.
So that's again a different experience as well. Maybe not for everyone, but like it's really a relaxing experience and it's very affordable if you think about it. Like you just have like different pools,
Okay.
some like with hot water, some with cold sauna. You have like hot stones where you can lay on. So it's definitely something, yeah, that is
Very
present in
unique.
Japanese culture, very unique, yeah. And then yeah, obviously you cannot wear any clothing, not like swimwear or anything, but you can carry a towel with you. But yeah, it's definitely an experience. We had already done like an onsen where when we stayed in Mount Fuji, there was
Okay.
our hotel had a little bath. So you can do it privately. So that's also an option if someone wants to experience that type of thing, but
Uh,
wants to have a private experience. So it's a good tip to look for a hotel that has that type of facility. But again, yeah, it's very affordable to do the public baths if you're open to it. And yeah, and then yeah, just we really, I think yeah, in terms of landmarks, we've seen some of the main ones in Osaka. So we were just exploring, eating, and yeah. Then the following day, we went
okay.
to Kyoto just to drop our luggage. But then we headed to Nara. So the idea was to spend, yeah,
Okay.
most of the day in Nara. Yeah. So we had pretty much an afternoon in Nara.
Okay.
We'd heard about it because of, yeah, the park with the where the deer just
Right.
walk around freely. So it's, yeah, it's really easy. Like we just got there. You walk like 5 minutes from the station and you straight
Okay.
away you get to the park. And then there was already like a large group of deer just
Wow.
like resting at the very beginning. But then that's also where everyone is. So definitely
Okay.
you will see more and more as you go around the park. Yeah, don't think that you just need to stay on that bit. It's good to, it's a huge park. It also has a
Right.
shrine there. So it's definitely, there's things to see in the park. There's little ice cream
Nice.
shops and things like that. It's a really nice day out. Like you can like really enjoy, go for a nice walk, just relax a bit in the park, escape
Okay.
like the big city vibes a bit and just chill. And yeah, the deer are just everywhere, scattered around. And then there's like some vendors with this like special like biscuits for the deer that I think
Oh, wow.
cost like 100 or 200 yen, which is very cheap. And yeah, then you can feed them. But then there's also like a lot of posters saying how to do it, how to
Uh,
be careful because at the end they're the wild animals. So you can go, they're not gonna do anything, but if you have those biscuits or if you have food, you might attract them. So you need to be a bit aware as
mhm.
well. So if you are feeding them, don't give the whole pack, just maybe even the biscuits are big, so just break them,
Okay.
give little pieces. And it's a good idea when if you are feeding, you feed one and then you like walk away because a lot of the times they'll keep wanting more and more. And then sometimes they might become a bit aggressive and there's
Okay.
been biting but yeah, there's definitely some care around like not touching the fangs or sorry, the horns or anything. So yeah, it's just
Okay.
some things to be careful about, but
Uh,
it's very peaceful.
is it
Mhm.
kid friendly as well, the park?
Yes, it totally is. But again, it's just, yeah, because there are areas that are a bit quieter, but there
Okay.
might always be a deer coming around. So it's just a question of, yeah, just being aware and mindful.
Right.
And yeah, just if you need to like move around, like not doing anything agitated, but if you need to move around because food and things might attract the deer. But just next to the park in Nara, there's also a huge Buddhist temple. It's really amazing. Is
Oh.
you go in and then even if as you leave the park, there will still be deer like around like near the temple. So it's called, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, it's called Todaji Temple.
Okay.
And it's very famous because it has this giant Buddha statue. And yeah,
Okay.
it's really impressive. Like from the gates, they're like these huge gates and like sculptures with
Wow.
the guards. They're like really impressive. And then yeah, you just go in. There's a really nice pathway leading to the temple. And there's actually, yeah, there's one big main
Okay.
statue, and then there's another one, like a golden one, and it was really impressive. Yeah,
It sounds
it's you just
lovely.
walk around a bit, and then yeah, it's really lovely. Definitely a must visit, and it's just right there, very easy. And yeah, because we were like a bit limited on time, that's the only two things we did in Nara. But
Okay.
I've definitely seen that there's more things to see within the city and experience as well. So yeah, definitely if you had time, I would, if I knew, I would have spent maybe a full day in Nara. But yeah. And then yeah, then we made our way back to Kyoto by train and stayed in Kyoto for I think 3 of the days. So our focus in Kyoto was, I think it was really the cultural hub like of Japan that we were
True.
looking at, cultural and historical. So it's nice because yeah, like this picture of my background is like we were walking in Gyeon, and then we saw this. You can go up a bit and just get a picture from high up. And yeah, this is really pretty much the most popular neighborhood because of the houses. They have that traditional feel.
Looks
You feel
cozy.
like you're like, yeah, you feel like you're traveling back in time, just yeah. And then, because yeah, I had this idea that Kyoto was going to be all like this, but there are certain neighborhoods that look like
Wow.
this, but then also Kyoto is just modern Japanese city, so it has like yeah, tall buildings, normal
Right.
buildings. So yeah, and the area we stayed at was just like next to the central station. It was like a more like yeah,
Wow.
modern area. So our plan in Kyoto was first we went to see. So the first full day we had, we there was a few very early mornings in Kyoto because we knew some places are extremely popular. One of the things we've been seeing repeatedly on social media is how Kyoto is very crowded and too
Right.
touristy. But I think there's definitely a way to enjoy Kyoto.
Okay.
One, depending on the time of the year that you go, that's
Mm-hmm.
also helpful. But then also there's times of day where you can also avoid the crowds a bit.
Okay.
So to visit some of the most popular places like the Arashiyama bamboo grove, there is like that place where everyone goes to take the nice picture or
Right.
next to the bamboos. Like we thought, I actually when I saw that, because you read it online and it's they people call it forest, but it's like a groove. It's just like one
Right.
corridor of a lot of bamboo, and it's not like that big. So that's why it also gets very crowded. So we went there very early. We
Mm-hmm.
took the first train from the center station. That was like that got us there like around 6 a.m. So it was very early.
Yeah.
And then it was only yeah, a few crazy people that were there at that time with us. But also there was also some locals like doing the early
Yeah.
walk or running. But yeah, it was there was a few people, but very few people. So yeah, we did get the really good picture there. But it was also nice. It's like nice when I think it I'm not gonna say that it was easy to get out of bed at I don't know
It's never
5 a.m.
easy.
or something. But actually it felt really good because we did it very peacefully. We took our time. And
Yeah.
then the area Arashiyama that is like a bit on the outskirts of Kyoto, there's also other things to see. So
Mm-hmm.
did that bit, and then you can walk to other temples nearby. And it's actually a really pleasant walk because the area is more in the woods. That's also a residential area, but then you're
Right.
surrounded by nature a bit. So like lots of trees. It's really nice. So it was a really pleasant walk that we did. It was a really hot day, so yeah, it was nice to do it
It sounds
early in the
refreshing.
morning. Yeah, exactly. Just being in the shadow of the trees. So then we walked to another temple called Otaji Nenbutsu. Sorry, Nembutsuji temple, and it's a temple that is famous for the different this sculptures, like lots of like
Mhm.
different sculptures, and then it's actually they've only been carved recently, so not like anything ancient or anything, but I think it was around the 80s where because this
Okay.
temple like it was like refurbished and everything. There was a monk that was leading these works, and it was people, different Japanese people that like actually did this like carvings on the rock and sculpt it. And each sculpture has a different facial expression. Some
It
are
sounds
more,
interesting.
yeah, towards like they are like worshiping, or others are like just happy or a bit silly, and it's very interesting. So you can go and walk around the different statues, and then yeah, then it also has some of the structures of the temple. You can just see it's really beautiful, and it's just yeah,
Okay.
just on the hill, and then, like lots of trees around it. It's very serene. So I think it opens like at 8 a.m. or something. And then we
Okay.
got there just before it opened. There was, yeah, again, only a few people already there waiting with us. But yeah, it was really good. And then there's another temple, the other Shino temple, just 10 minutes. So we walk all the
Okay.
way there and then walked
Hmm.
back to see the other Shino temple. And again, it's really beautiful. Just there's also another bamboo grove. So if you don't want to do the very busy one, this temple has one that is equally beautiful. It has some stairs even. So yeah, it's really nice. And as far as I know, yeah, not that many people go to these two temples
Okay.
because they focus on seeing like the
So
bamboo
it's more
grove
of a
that is
hidden gem.
yeah, because it's very close to the station. So you get off at the station and you just
Uh,
like walk for 10 minutes and you are at the bamboo grove, and then you need to walk a bit further to go to the other temples, which is very
okay.
worth it because again it also has like a neighborhood that it looks a bit like Gion as well, like in terms of the architecture. So it's very nice if you want to
Okay.
experience and see the architecture in a not so busy neighborhood. So yeah, it
Right.
was really lovely. And we did that in the morning. So we went back to our hotel, rested a bit, and yeah, no, a whole morning we were just like it was like 12 and we had already done so much. So it just felt like a really productive day.
Right.
And then in the afternoon, we actually had a guided tour. So we had a guided tour with a guy that's been living in Kyoto for some years. So yeah, it was really interesting to get to know some hidden gems, some like
Hmm.
alternatives as well of like places to visit where yeah, perhaps not that many people go. Because there's the famous temples like Kiyomizu-dera, but then there's other that are a bit further up in Gion
Okay.
that people don't usually go to. And then we were just, yeah, walking on those streets and getting, yeah, some recommendations as well around food. Because Kyoto is you'll see matcha everywhere, like
Right.
matcha drinks, matcha sweets, just getting, yeah, matcha. Also,
Sounds
like you can go
yummy.
on a tea, yeah, you can go on a tea ceremony as well because it's a region where, yeah, I think it's produced nearby, and then Kyoto is like one of the places
Okay.
that really sells it. So yeah, it attracts a lot of interest there. And yeah, you can try all like matcha, soft serve ice cream, everything really.
Sounds really
Um,
delicious.
yeah, we got all the recommendations for the nice shops, also understanding a bit more. It's the good thing about yeah being with the guide is that you could also, and it was the first time we were doing a private tour, just me, my boyfriend, and the guide,
Okay.
so we could ask any questions we had because certain things we were noticing some things. For example, we
Right.
were noticing some places we didn't know what was a shrine, what was a temple, or like the different meanings of the things that we saw on each, and just yeah, just being able to clarify those things with the local guide. Yeah, it was really cool. And then yeah, we actually the next day we came back to see some of those places in a bit more detail.
Okay.
So yeah, with on that day we didn't have time to visit the Kiyomizu-dera temple, which is again really beautiful. So we did it the next day, like with a bit more time. And then one of the things, yeah, we did as well was
Okay.
to rent. I rented a kimono.
Oh,
So
wow.
there's many shops where you can do it. You can rent, you can buy it, and it just yeah, just as you are entering Gion, there's like a lot of shops where you can just
Right.
go in. They have like different styles, different colors. If you like more the pastel ones, like
Uh-huh.
very subtle. That's why I chose like a green one with some embroidery. But then you can also have like more vibrant colors. And it's really a very cool, very interesting
Yeah.
ritual because you go
Very
to the
immersive
shop.
experience.
It's very immersive, yes, because you go to the shop and the ladies will help you. They have to help you get dressed because
Yeah.
then you have the kimono, the belt. But then for example, when I was getting dressed, they put some towels around my waist and ribs, and then they put the belt and then they tie it in different ways. So
Okay.
it's a very interesting process to understand. And it's like an honor to be able to
Yeah,
do
I can
that.
imagine.
It's very cool to yeah, have the opportunity to do that. I wasn't sure if there was something everyone could experience and if yeah, if it was well accepted. But it seems like the locals are very open to it. So I saw yeah, many people, men and women renting. And then obviously you want to take some nice pictures. So I rented it, I was wearing it, and then walking around the Gion neighborhood, going to some temples. And yeah, it's really an amazing experience. And yeah, still in Kyoto, I think there's also this area where by the river as well, where there's a lot of restaurants. So you can
Uh-huh.
like, I think in summer it's also very usual where these restaurants they have terraces as well. People can
Okay.
sit outside, have or bars, and just yeah, just relax in the areas. It's quite popular. Different
Yeah.
markets to visit. So it's really a city where it's really impressive. And obviously, I haven't mentioned yet, but our last morning in Kyoto was visiting the Fushimi Inara temple, sorry, shrine. And that was absolutely incredible. So again, it's a bit more on the outskirts. We had to take
Okay.
a train. We took a very early train again, the first one, which was worth it. But Fushimi Nara, you can also go anytime because it's free to go. There's no ticket desk. You can go as early as you want, even 9 time. Maybe not the best idea because I mean, it's on the hill, like you're going up
Yeah.
like a big hill. So yeah, you want to make sure you're safe too. But you can go as early as you want. And yeah, we got there, I think around 6 a.m., very few people. And then it's the famous shrine that has all the torii gates
Okay.
in like a huge line. So that's why everyone
Interesting.
loves going there. It's really big and yeah, it's up on a hill. Like it takes some time to go up. I can't really say how long because obviously we stopped, we took our time, we took pictures, but it's like a little hike to go up there. So there's like stairs you go
Okay.
up, but it's really beautiful along the way. So you have like different sections. Like some sections is yeah, lots of like gates together. But then you reach a place as well where you have some more like some sculpture. So what you will see in shrines is that usually they're associated to a figure like this. There's a statue of a specific animal. So for example, a fox
Okay.
or a dog, or in Nara you have a deer that is like the symbol of that shrine. So you'll see like different areas, not just torii gates everywhere. And then there's also like an area, there's like an observation deck, so you can have a really nice view
Wonderful.
of Kyoto. And it's a bit, I think, past halfway. But then, yeah, you can go all the way up. I wouldn't say that's like super impressive when you're there. I think the way there, it's like very impressive. But when you get to the top torii gates, but then also we saw that on those, like, I think from what we understood that our guide explained us, it's that on shrines as well, you have a lot of inscriptions from businesses and companies. So it's apparently a tradition that like business they would get good fortune, good
Right.
blessings for their business, so they would have their name written on torii gates or on the shrines is also there, so yeah, to bring good fortune. So yeah, it's a lovely hike, and then and you can go one way and then come down the other way, so it's you'll see different things as well. And then yeah, at the entrance of the shrine there's also like the main buildings there as well,
Okay.
so it's really lovely. It will take yeah a few hours. I think we arrived at 6 and we left at like around 9 a.m.
Mhm.
So yeah, then yeah, when we when we got down there again at the entrance, yeah, that's when we saw a huge wave of people just
Oh,
arriving, and yeah, it
lucky.
was very interesting. So I was glad that we did because it was very chill. Like it's not just to take the perfect picture, but honestly, I think for me personally, it was worth waking up early and just doing it very
Yeah.
in a relaxed way. And yeah, it was just nice. But yeah, not everyone likes to wake up early. You also have limited mornings, so you have to
Yeah.
choose where you can go early anyway. But yeah, it's definitely a nice place to visit. It's really incredible. And yeah, for Kyoto, that was our itinerary, the main things we did. There was also, yeah, great food in Kyoto. I think also, yeah, besides matcha, everything, if you like matcha, there's lots of things to try. Oh, and we did a tea ceremony as well. That
Oh,
was very
nice.
interesting. Just understanding a bit like the tradition around that, the process. I got to like whisk my matcha too and then drink it, and then you have it like with some sweets. So it's very interesting to do. And yeah, there's also other yeah sweets that are similar to mochi, and we made with the rice flour, and yeah, there's also yeah different things to try over there as well. So yeah, I think that was for these three places. Yeah, that was the itinerary, but that's definitely lots to see. I think still in Kyoto there was more temples and shrines to see, but yeah, you have to be a bit selective unless you have
Mhm.
unlimited time.
Such a comprehensive trip, and the way you explain it, I could actually imagine all the torii gates, the shrines, and it was I can bet it's a lovely experience. Yeah, I have a question that among the things that you wanted to do, what are the things you couldn't do? Since you said there's lots to see.
I think I did the things that I really wanted to do. I just think that yeah, perhaps there were a few more temples to see.
Mhm.
And yeah, that it was just yeah, we were a bit short on time to go see. Nothing really like very high on my list that I didn't do. I think the main things, thankfully,
Yeah.
yeah, we covered. So yeah, I think I would have spent another day in Kyoto just wandering around, just yeah, just really exploring a bit more freely. Yeah.
Okay. Coming to your accommodation, you lived
Mhm.
in Osaka and Kyoto, right?
Yes, yes.
Can you tell me about both the accommodations?
Yeah, so we, as I mentioned earlier, we're like more of yeah mid-range budget
Yeah.
travelers. So we want something that is comfortable enough, nice, clean, and but yeah, just going more mid-range. And yeah, we found two lovely places. In Osaka, it was more like a flat, so we even
Okay.
had a little kitchen area. It was like just a little studio flat, and yeah, it was next to Kurumor Market. It was very well located.
Okay.
We're within closing this walking distance from the main places in
Nice.
Osaka. And then in Kyoto, yeah, we also found a lovely Tune Stay hotel. It's next to the Kyoto station, the Kyoto train
Okay.
station. So it's very convenient for us when we wanted to go to, yeah, some of the places on the outskirts.
Right.
And then when we wanted to go to Gion, we would take the bus. But the hotel, yeah, was really lovely, like a three-star hotel. And yeah, it had this really cool library. So you
Oh,
go into
nice.
the hotel, like it's very modern, very sleek, nice Japanese design. But then you have this like staircase that is just a proper staircase, but then you can sit as well. And then
Okay.
you have like huge tall library that like from the top floor to like the lower
Wow.
floor. Lots of books. You can go read them. Like it's just yeah, a library. And then there's more on the ground floor, like an area we can sit. We can read, you can work if you want, and then it has a kitchen. So it's
Okay.
actually a hotel slash hostel. So like you have a kitchen area as
Mhm.
well. You can cook, you can have well, one of the days we were so exhausted that we just came with takeaway, from 7-Eleven and just had our dinner there. And it's yeah, very cool, very hip hotel. And what I love, I think as a standard at Japanese hotels, even like mid-range ones, you always have yeah, nice toiletries there, a toothbrush. That used to be my number one item that I would forget on my trips. I don't anymore. But every hotel in Japan has yeah the toothbrush. You have also a robe or
Oh,
sometimes even
nice.
like a pajama as well. Like it's just really nice and slippers. And that's everywhere. And yeah, the lovely famous Japanese toilets that are just out of this world. But yeah, it's really good. I think the standard of like accommodation there
Yeah.
is it's quite good.
The hotel, did they also provide you with all three meals?
Oh, no, we didn't have meals at the hotels, no.
Okay. Okay, no worries. And can you tell me about whether the hotel was also kid friendly or solo friendly?
Kid and solo friendly. Yeah, personally, yeah, no, cannot tell from personal experience. I think for solo travelers, I think especially the locations, it really helps. Again, in Kyoto, it was a hotel, so they had a reception, so with the
Yeah.
staff there helping. In Osaka, there was a few times. I think they had a small reception, but yeah, limited times. But it seems very safe.
Okay.
In Japan, I think in general, you feel quite safe. So yeah, I think it was really good.
Okay. Coming to food, you did say that you had a lot of matcha experience there, but was there any cultural food or any particular restaurant that stood out to you?
I think in Osaka it was very cool. We actually so my boyfriend is gluten free, so we sometimes yeah we look for
Okay.
options to cater for him. And some of the foods that we wanted to try in Osaka were the takoyaki, and they're traditionally made like with most restaurants made them with wheat flour. So
Okay.
we actually found a gluten-free restaurant. So there's yeah the two dishes, takoyaki, okonomiyaki, and then the same restaurant chain, they have two branches and one service each. And it was like a very interesting concept because I
Right.
think it was this lady that created the restaurant. And you go in, it's very casual, very formal. So
Mhm.
you just like order and pay at the till, and then you just give like a tip for drink that it was like I don't know, 200 yen. And then you can go in on the fridge and get every drink you want. And then they have multi floors. Sorry, one of them has multi floors. The other one is just the ground floor. But then you're like in this room where and they encourage people to sign on the wall. So you have like different stickers, things on the walls, but then you also have signatures. So everyone that comes to that
Wow.
restaurant can leave like a little message, and you just see people, yeah, from everywhere in the world just thanking. Because also, I think not only gluten free, but it also provided like a vegan alternative. For example, one of the dishes was it's made with octopus, so there's also
Okay.
like a vegan alternative for that. So yeah, it was just like a very nice vibe, that restaurant. So it really stood out, and just yeah, having the alternatives. Another food experience that stood out again when it was in Osaka, which I think it's really the foodie city, was to do a teppanyaki experience. So that's
Oh,
when
okay.
have like a chef cooking, that they have this, they're just like cooking in front of you basically. Usually it's like meat
Uh-huh.
dishes. So if you want to have wagyu beef, if you want to have Kobe beef, try these things, and they just cook it in front of you. And it was very cool because we went to visit Osaka Castle, and
Okay.
that spent after lunchtime. So it was like, I don't know, 2 3 p.m., and we were like, what do we do for lunch now? And then we walked back to our hotel, and then realized that yeah, we just had Kurumon market there, and there was a restaurant that it was just like at the entrance of the market, and it was open all day, and we're like, okay, let's go try Kobe beef. And then we also saw that it was cheaper to if you do it at lunchtime, so we just went there, and it was just us at the restaurant. So it was like a VIP experience
I can
because it was just a
imagine.
chef cooking for us, and he was really, yeah, he was really nice, really friendly. We just had a bit of a chit chat. He was asking about like our trip. We were asking about him, and he was explaining as well why they cook it in a
Yeah.
certain way. So he was cooking the steak with also, so it was like on that, like the board there, the heated board, and it was just like frying the grilling the steak. But then also he had like these vegetables in like little bags, and then they were just
Okay.
like they would, it was like a special type of bag, so he would cook them inside, so everything was
Okay.
there on the board, and then he would do it in two goes. So the first he made the first go on the steak, and then he
Okay.
served it to us, and then there was like really nice side dishes as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
it was a really amazing experience. Like the food was great, and yeah, just doing having the private accidental VIP experience was really good. And I think yeah, it was like very reasonable priced as well. So yeah, that really stood out.
Do you recall the name of both the hotels?
I don't recall, no, but the this restaurant, the with the Kobe beef,
Mhm.
was just at the entrance of Kurumon Market.
Okay.
And the other one, I yeah, cannot really remember what it was.
Because
But
it's yeah, it's so difficult to find vegetarian vegan options in Japan.
yeah,
Because I'm vegetarian personally, and when I was going through list of restaurants, it was so difficult. So places like these are like really valuable for people.
yeah, I have it written somewhere. I can send it to you
Yeah, yeah,
afterwards.
that'd be
Yeah.
great. Okay, my next question is it safe to drink tap water in Japan, or you have to carry like a water bottle with you?
Yes, and there was like places with the water fountains as well. So I always
Mhm.
had my water bottle. So then yeah, I could just refill. Like I don't recall buying water in the supermarket at
Okay,
all.
great. And one more question about Wi-Fi. How's the
Mhm.
Wi-Fi connectivity where you stayed in both in all three cities?
Yeah, so I had, yeah, the hotels, it was fine. It was just, yeah, standard. I was traveling with a device that I have that it allows me to just connect my phone and
Okay,
laptop. It's from a company called Travel Wi-Fi. So they just, you can, yeah, it's like the device itself, it has an eSIM, so you can
okay,
like top it up when you travel. So that way I can connect on my phone, my laptop. My boyfriend can also connect his, as long as we carry that device. So it's like having an eSIM, but then it connects multiple devices. And
okay.
the connectivity with that, yeah, was good.
Right, great. And lastly, can you tell me about the shopping experience there? Like
Mhm.
lots of places to shop, any particular place you can think of?
Yeah, there's loads. I think probably, yeah, there's certain areas in Tokyo where you would want to go see. So on our last day in Tokyo, we were in but just specifically, yeah, to I think Kyoto as well. For example, we were maybe not so focused on shopping, I would say, was
Mm-hmm.
more around the food and the experiences.
Yeah.
But there's definitely shops. So like things if you want to see, yeah, a lot of people like to go see trainers to buy that. So I think there's also like shops, yeah, in Osaka and Kyoto. There's also, I think, in Osaka, if you like manga and anime and all these things,
Okay.
there's this area called Nipponbashi that is like a little, I don't know, but like this neighborhood where there's this long street as well that has like a lot of shops that
Nice.
sell figures, comics, and different things associated to
Uh-huh.
that. So you can definitely go by there. And then there's the Don Quixote shops that is just the place to get all the souvenirs,
Yeah.
like the sweets, the candy, anything you want. Like this. So for example, in Osaka, just in Dotonbori, they have this,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many floors, maybe nine, 10. It's
Wow.
huge. And you just go, and there's sweets like the famous matcha Kit Kat and all these things, but there are also more Japanese
Yummy.
traditional sweets. And then there's like lots of beauty products. So if you want to like, I bought like this face mask, like rice face mask that
Wow.
you can try out. So like lots of beauty products that you want, lotions and things. And then yeah, you can buy like the typical souvenirs, the magnets, the t-shirts and everything. And it's a very cheap place to go. But then, for example, in Kyoto, there's also a street, I think where the area where you're like close to the river, there's like this street that it also has a it's good to buy like food souvenirs. So if you
Okay.
want to buy like matcha or if you want to buy matcha sweets to take. They're really great, like really good quality. I
Nice.
think yeah, if you want to bring a nice souvenir home, they also have other traditional accessories as well, home accessories. Oh yeah, other types, not just like sweets, but like salty snacks as well that you can definitely
Uh-huh.
bring home as a souvenir. And I think th those are like my favorite type of souvenirs, like food souvenirs.
Yeah, I can see why.
Yeah.
One last question I have for you is there anything we haven't covered or any safety tips that you would like to give to the travelers?
Yeah, I think I mentioned some earlier before around transport. Again, yeah, get your Suica card on your phone. You can top it up to access public transport. You can also pay at the convenience shops like 7-Eleven,
Right.
Lawson, etc. You can pay with this card. So it's just very convenient because you top up directly on your phone. But also, I would advise to also have some cash because a few small restaurants or shops sometimes they
Okay.
only accept cash. For example, we went to this, yeah, you mentioned, you asked for me to highlight some of those experiences. One really nice restaurant we went in Kyoto was this like small traditional restaurant. It was just this gentleman that just like had it was a I don't know, only very few seats, and then the kitchen, you could see the kitchen open, and it was
Yeah.
almost like you were like the kitchen was like he's like an apartment, so like you were in his living room, but not really. It was still a restaurant, and it was just him. So he was serving, he was like the waiter, but also cooking. And then we tried the famous omo rice, which is like the
Wow.
omelet that really melts over rice and some meat. So that was delicious. And yeah, it was a very small restaurant, only cash, and it was like one of the best foods we also had. It's called White Lover. I remember that one because I thought the name was funny. It's in Kyoto. So yeah, definitely have cash for a few occasions. What I would say, again, some popular things, like some very
Hmm.
popular things can sell out like activities, like for example, going to Universal Studios. If
Okay.
you already know in your plan you want to do that, like that's something to book in advance. Even the tea ceremonies, you could still potentially find it on the same day. But if again, if you want to do it like in a specific place,
Right.
book it in advance. The kimono rental, I think to make out of it, like you perhaps want to go rent it in the morning so you have a full day because I only did
Yeah.
it in the afternoon and I thought that maybe you would perhaps rent it
Hmm.
24 hours, but no, it's just like during that day. So yeah, if you want to have a good amount of time and make the most out of it, just yeah, go early in the morning. Again, I mentioned the tip about the onsen. So if you want to try onsen experience, you can either go to the public baths or find a hotel that
Right.
has the onsen facilities if you want to do it privately. But apart from that, everything was very easy. I think, yeah, book your accommodation early. I think accommodation is probably one of the most expensive things in Japan.
Hmm.
So yeah, just something to look at early. But it's very easy to navigate. Oh, and what I would say is that yeah, have the translator app on your phone. That's very
Right.
helpful because sometimes you're in the markets and you're and you wonder to understand what's on the
Hmm.
label. And yeah, like you mentioned, you're a vegetarian, for example, sometimes you want to check
Yeah.
for like dietary requirements and not really sure. So just have the app so you can scan the labels. And sometimes it's also helpful like to communicate with locals if there's a language barrier as well. So you just, yeah, it's just a bit easier.
Okay. Yeah, my next question is actually about whether English is enough to get by, or you would have to know a good chunk of Japanese to travel in Japan.
I don't think you need to know. It's good to know. Obviously, get to know the greetings like konnichiwa, very easy, saying hello, arigato, just saying thank you. So just like those two basic phrases, like it will
Okay.
go a long way and it'll put a smile as well on locals. It's just, yeah, just being
Yeah.
able to say hi and thank you. That's very nice. If you can learn more, even better. I didn't know a lot of Japanese, to be honest. Some people speak English, but not, I would say that it's not necessarily that widely spoken. And I'm not saying that people in Japan have to, but it's just, yeah, just to manage expectations when you go as a visitor. But yeah, that's why I mentioned it's useful to have a translator app because
Yeah.
sometimes if, yeah, there's a language barrier, you need to ask a question, it helps a bit. Yeah. But one thing is that, for example, in public transport, the information is in English. Usually you have like labels, the stations in English.
Okay.
There's also audio. So like they announce the stations also in English. So that's very easy. I didn't find any challenges with public transport. And just use Google Maps as well or your preferred transport app just to so you have the routes, but it's very easy.
Nice. That's good to hear. Okay. One last question for you before we wrap up today's session is what did you like the most about your trip to Japan?
I think it was, yeah, just trying new things. It's just, I think mostly around the food. It was just like, yeah, different flavors, different textures. Yeah, like I mentioned, I like the omurice. I
Yeah.
liked, there's things that I had already tried, like ramen and sushi, but it's just different there.
Yeah.
And the quality, the fish is just amazing. And then I liked also experiencing both, yeah, going to
Hmm.
restaurants. For example, the one that I was saying with the teppanyaki that the chef was cooking in front of us,
Yeah.
that was really cool. But I equally liked trying the street food in the market, so that was like really good. And the food is really nice. I had saved many restaurants to try, but if I saw something nice and I saw locals going there, I just
Yeah.
tried. For example, there was this, I had tried sushi, but there's also places that do like sushi bowls. That was really good. There's also like this one that it was like a ball of rice topped with some steak as well. So it was, yeah, there was just like different things that perhaps I haven't seen here in Europe yet. And it was just, yeah, trying that. I just like the ease of travel. Like I love
Hmm.
also being able to travel by train. So that was very smooth as well, going across, yeah, the country by train, very fast, efficient. Loved
Convenient.
Japanese toilets. And the fact that not just the ones at your hotel, but the public toilet facilities as well, that's super convenient
Wow.
because not only they're free, but they're always clean. And sometimes when you travel, it's not traveling in Japan, it's just so easy because everything is so easily accessible. Yeah, public toilets you have everywhere, easily accessible, like metro stations
Mhm.
and just around, and it's something convenient. The shops, 7-Eleven, Lawson, they have so many ready meals. Obviously, I wanted to do a mix of trying different foods, but then
Right.
sometimes you just want like a quick snack, or
Hmm.
sometimes you're a bit too tired at the end of the day
Yeah.
to go out for dinner. So you just buy a quick takeaway and get by. So that was very easy. And yeah, just seeing new things. I also like seeing the temples and shrines, the architecture, just and yeah, try your kimono. That was really cool experience. Yeah, there are many things to point out on this trip.
Right. So we talked a lot about Japanese today, the Japanese culture, about these lovely cities. And I think we have inspired everyone watching this to quickly book their tickets and get that experience. So thank you so much for your time
I hope
today,
so.
for sharing your trip from your perspective and just taking us through all these nooks and crannies in these cities. So thanks again for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having me. Yeah, I love talking about my trips, and it's nice to have, yeah, a platform, people that are very interested to know. And I highly recommend visiting Osaka, Nara, and Kyoto when you're in Japan. It's really lovely places, and yeah, you can get around very easily. So yeah, that's really good to include.
What's the next place in your agenda?
Oh, that's a tough question. I just came back from Paris Olympics, so
Oh,
that
wow.
was yeah, it was a trip planning for 2 years. It's just the tickets and everything. I think I would like some beach time now because yeah, Japan was wonderful. Paris was fun, but now I would like some beach time. I think yeah, towards the end of the summer, just to enjoy. Yeah, I'll probably be going yeah to Spain or something like that. Just relax a bit. Yeah.
So that was lovely. We'll be back next time again with more stories from our travelers and trip experts. So until then, stay tuned and thank you so much.